Good morning, student. Today we are starting with water resources, second part, that is irrigation. Irrigation, and in the previous video I had seen that we had discussed about surface water and underground water and its uses and different methods of irrigation. Now today we are starting with irrigation as the main topic. The meaning of the term irrigation is artificial means of watering the agricultural land. Now, India is an agricultural country. More than 260 days are frost free. So, we have got a long growing season. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, most of the states grow crop throughout the year, except for few months when it is frost. For example, in Kashmir or northeastern states. Otherwise, throughout the country, we can do agriculture in throughout the year. So we do not get rainfall throughout the year. It is only for 2 to 3 months or maximum 4 months we get the monsoon rain. So India is dependent on artificial means of watering the field, which we call it as irrigation. Now, different methods of irrigation are: number one, the old method, that is well irrigation, lined and unlined. Lined wells are those which has got masonry work structure lining inside the well so that it doesn't collapse. And unlined well are those which is just dug few meters deep to extract water without any construction work needed there. It can be also classified as perennial well and seasonal well. Some wells can supply water throughout the year. For example, the wells of the river of the Ganga plain. Some wells dry up, like we are staying in Chotanagpur Plateau, that dries up during summer season. That is, it is a seasonal well. So well irrigation is a very tedious work because it has to be done manually. They extract water from the well and then give it out to the field. So it takes time, and the amount of water that is extracted is also less. So it is a primitive method of irrigation. So we have done that. Well is a primitive method: lined well, unlined well, perennial well and seasonal well. Now second is tube well. In order to extract water from underground, that is underground water, people made a bore well, and with the help of motorized pump, we extracted water, and that water is spread out to the whole of the field. So we can extract more water, but for this we need that the government should have a cheap rate for electricity for the farmers, because without electricity tube well will not work. And the land should be soft where the digging is possible. If it is a hard surface, if it is the Deccan Plateau region or the Chotanagpur Plateau region, tube wells are not very effective. So tube well and well both are very effective in Ganga plain or coastal plain, where the land is soft, soil is soft, easy to dig. Now the number three, tank irrigation. I have written only in South India. Maximum area in South India has tank irrigation. The reason is, there are two reasons. First reason is that there is the whole of the Deccan Plateau is made up of hard surface or hard rock, which is impermeable. So when there is rainfall, and there is a second thing is, there are natural depressions. So having a non-porous rock plus having a hard surface where water gets collected, and when there is rainfall, there is natural depression where the water gets collected. Now in that, what they do is, they construct a boundary on all the four sides. The base is already there for as a hard rock, and the water gets collected in those tanks, and when these water is transported to the field, we call it as tank irrigation. But there are certain demerit of tank irrigation. First demerit is, it occupies large area which could have been used for agriculture. For a country like India, when we need more agriculture, so land is being occupied by tank. Number two, the disadvantage of tank irrigation is that because the water gets collected and it is open, there is more chance of evaporation, and there's less water consumed or less water during the summer season. So it becomes very difficult to control over that, and evaporation is there. And one more problem comes with the tank irrigation is, desilting it, because the silt gets collected, so the volume of water goes on reducing. So three demerits we can study about the tank irrigation, which is very prevalent in South India. Now coming to the fourth one, canal irrigation. Canal irrigation is of two types: inundation canal, perennial canal. Now number one, inundation canal. First we'll study what is canal. Canal is an artificial river constructed from the main river. That means from the main river, if we are making an outlet towards the field, it is called canal. So it is an artificial river made or man-made river. And when there is extra water in the river, it flows into the canal. So that is called inundation canal. So inundation canal do not have any dam, they do not have any weir, they do not have any barrage to collect the water. So during rainy season, when there is excess water in the river, it will flow towards the canal, that is inundation canal. But there is a demerit of this, because it is only during rainy season the canal will have water, when there is excess water in the river. At that time we do not need water for the field, already the field is having rainfall, so that is not very convenient. Now instead of that, now they are preparing as a perennial canal. Now perennial canals means that if there is a river flowing, the river, against the river they make along the downstream we construct a dam, and the water gets collected in the above the upstream, and from there the water is diverted to the canals, and that is the collection point, and that can supply water throughout the year. There, that has got a dam constructed, and from there the dam controls the flow of the water. So that is the perennial canal. Now perennial canal, both the canals are very common in the Ganga plain. There are many reasons for that, because all the rivers in the Ganga plain are perennial. So they supply water to the rivers throughout the year, and the land is so soft that it is easy to dig the canal. Third is that the land is so fertile that if we keep on watering the field, we can get the maximum agriculture crop from that region. So perennial canal, inundation canal, both are very commonly seen in the Ganga plain and to some extent in the coastal plain, like eastern coastal plain. Now this is also very common in Ganga plain. This is in South India. Tank tubewell is almost present everywhere. Now coming to the fifth one, that is sprinkler. Sprinkler and drip irrigation is the latest means or most modern means of irrigation, which the government has started in many of the states. Sprinkler is that there is a hose pipe that moves, they put the hose pipe, and there is a nozzle over here that gives out water if the water supplies into the pipe. So these type of agriculture is practiced in those areas where farmers are quite well off. They can afford the sprinkler, and it is common for those type of crop which needs less water, like some crops do not need, like rice needs a lot of water, but other crops may not need so much of water, so it needs, we can do it by sprinkler. Now sprinkler, the merits of sprinkler is that because it is passing through the pipe, there is less chance of evaporation and there is no loss of water, or it is regulated. Whatever amount of water is needed for the plant, we give that much of water. Now number 6, drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is again the same type with a hose pipe with small holes in between on this way, small holes. When the water is passing through the pipe, the water comes out from these small holes, and it supplies water directly to the roots of the plant, which is very common in Maharashtra for cultivation of strawberry. Now they are doing it in Jharkhand also to grow certain vegetables. We are using the sprinkler method of irrigation. So okay, these two methods are the ideal method of agriculture, which we are trying to consume in which we are trying to conserve the water. it is not getting to a waste. So these are the main types of methods of irrigation that is practiced in India.